Hi, Assalamualaikum and very good morning everyone. My name is Nurul Hidayana binti Mohd Noor. I am the presenter for our research paper titled on Examining the Green Consumption Among Gen Z constructed by the Standing Theory of Planned Behavior. So today I would like to present my group member to present our research title. Without further ado, we begin. This is our presentation outline. Today, I would like to present first by introduce our research project and then followed with problem statement. Third is literature review. Fourth is methodology. Fifth is finding discussion. And finally, we end with conclusion. As introductions, environmental damage, raw material and energy scarcity, increasing pollution have become a global concern, not only across global but also in Malaysia. So that's why the concept of green consumerism emerged as the important concept. What is a green consumer? Green consumer can be defined as individual who make purchase by thinking first the impact of their purchase toward environmental and the good they're concerned whether that it really impacting or provide a negative implication to the environments. That's why the concept of green consumer has been discovered by the previous study and scholar as a concept that can help to minimize the negative impact to the environment. So, pertaining to this matter, we believe that we need to examine the factor that influence Malaysian Gen Z intention to to have a green consumption. So we identify several factors such as environmental concessionals, eco labels, attitude, greenwashing, and also price, which can impact the Malaysian Gen Z green consumption. We believe that this study is very significant because it provides the current insight to environmental study since there is a lack of study being conducted in the context of Malaysia and also Gen Z. So we believe that our finding can provide new insight to the current literature because we provide empirical evidence from this context of Gen Z in Malaysia and also in developing country. Okay, who is a Gen Z? Gen Z can be defined as a group who born between 1997 until 2012, while Gen Y or millennial born between 1981 until 1996, while Gen X born between 1965 until 1980, and baby boomer born in 1946 to 1964. And the last is Alpha generation. Today generation is born between 2010 to 2011 that and until now. So our study will focus on Gen Z. As you can see from the slide, this is a picture of Greta Thunberg. She is a representative of Gen Z. She is well known because she is a Swedish environmentalist. She's very young, but she's very vocal at the global level. And then she also have raised the issue of climate change during that United Nations Convention. Gen Z have been discovered that generation that focus on environmental according to World Economic Forum 2022. They can be said as to have a green mindset as compared to other generations, according to Gomes et al. To 2023. That's why our study, we believe that we want to provide insight whether the Gen Z in Malaysia are really supported with this previous study because the previous study say Gen Z is the most environmentalist or have a highest green mindset as compared to other generations. Okay, as a problem statement, okay, nowadays, there is increasing number of global pollution as we can see across the world. In Malaysia, according to Department of National Solid Waste Management Statistics, show that in Malaysia, the recycling rate today currently at 52%, while the most developed country already exceed 60%. And then we have targeted that by 2025, our recycling rate need to be reached at 40%, but we are far from behind to achieve the target 40%. More worse, Malaysia government also lost about ringgit Malaysia 476 million yearly national income because of because of lack of recycling. Because recycling actually can help the country to generate income. Because through recycling, when we sell the reusable waste or item, it actually can help the government and also the society to generate income. And it also, without recycle, without the green action, government also lost 1 billion of ringgit because we need to provide to overcome the damage that happened from the human activities. That's why we believe that green consumerism is very important and need to be calculated among the younger generations because they are the one who become a leader and they are the one who will promote the environmental advocacy in our country, Malaysia. Okay, next. This is our research questions. So our study are derived from the three research questions. First, we want to examine what is the current level of green consumption among Gen Z in Malaysia. So we want to examine what factor drive Gen Z green consumption in Malaysia, and then what is the more vital variable that can predict Gen Z green consumption. Okay, as a tertiary review, what is a green consumption? As I said before, consumption means that before we buying something, we need to rethink first. For example, before we using a plastic, for example, let's say I buying something that made from the plastic material. So before I'm selecting this goodies, this good or product, I need to rethink what is the impact if I buy this plastic product, and later can this plastic product be recycled. If I the one who believe that this can give negative impact, therefore I prefer other material, for example biodegradable material. So for those who have this kind of mindset, means that the individual have high level of green consumerism. It's not only about you buying a product. For example, you going to supermarket, I prefer to use plastic bag, or you prefer to pay 20 cents for plastic bag, or you are preferring to bring your own bags. If you bring your own bag, this also considered as green consumer. Other example of green consumer, when you go to restaurant, for those who um, have high level of green consumer, they are preferring to use their own straw, biodegradable straw, or they bring a metal straw as compared to using a plastic straw. This kind of individuals show high level of green consumerism. And therefore, this is our dependent variable. Our study has proposed several factors that can increase the level of green consumerism. First factor is environmental consciousness. We believe that those who have high environmental consciousness or awareness are the one who will become a green consumer. And how they have this consciousness is through development of their cognitive ability. For example, they have knowledge, they have information pertaining to the environment. They have information on what kind of the product and good that can be recycled. They are aware with biodegradable product. So this one who have high level of consciousness are the one who become a green consumer. This has been supported by a previous study and also a plethora of research. Next, a previous study also discovered that eco-label can influence green consumerism. What is an eco-label? Eco-label is a product, when you see a product or a good that have advertising, they have label. For example, this product is environmental produce. This product does not make from the harmful ingredient. This product can be recycled. So when the consumer have knowledge by seeing the eco label in the product, so it will increase their intention to become a green consumer. Okay, next we believe their attitude also influence people to become a green consumer. According to ASEAN 1991, attitude is individual evaluation and what is a good or bad. If individual believe that green consumer is a good, can bring a positive impact to environment, so they will become a green consumer. In contrast, if individual believe that becoming green consumer does not deliver any value, therefore they dislike to become a green consumerism. This attitude can be influenced by their belief, their norm, and their external environment that can shape people attitude. Okay, next, green advertising. The fourth factor is green advertising. Green advertising is known as a medium to communicate a green awareness and information to the consumer. For example, through social media. For example, this have been done by Starbucks. When you go to their coffee shop, they will try to promote green consumerism through advertising. For example, they say that their straw is biodegradable. They do not promote any use of plastic straw. For example, when you go to McDonald's, for example, McDonald's have show their intention for not using plastic straw, and they encourage they not encourage, they are introduce the packaging for their food. For example, nowadays you can without using any straw. And then next, finally, is price. The previous study found that the higher price will decrease the intention of people to become green consumer. But if the price is higher but have high quality, it might intervene or influence people to become green consumer. Means that even though you want to introduce high price, the producer and manufacturer need to ensure that their high price come together with high quality. So the previous findings have found that high price with high quality can influence high green consumerism. Okay, what is a green consumerism? Consumerism is a movement to encourage people to buy food and other products which are environmentally good, such as organic product, lead-free petrol, and others. Okay, in conducting our study, we have derived our independent variable and dependent variable by using theory of planned behavior developed by Asjan 1991. According to this theory, people behavior can be influenced by intention, and these intention are influenced by three variables, which is attitude toward behavior, subjective norm, and perceived behavioral control. Attitude means individual judgment whether green consumer is good or bad. Subjective norm refer to surrounding of the individual. For example, whether their family, their colleague, their friend are encourage them to become a green consumer. While perceived behavioral control refer to individual ability to conduct green consumerism. For example, if the individual have self-efficacy or he or she are confident that by performing green consumerism can bring positive impact, therefore the individual will have higher inclination to become green consumerism. So based on this underlying theory, we have come out with our conceptual model. This is our conceptual model. As you can see, from the left side is our independent variable. Our first independent variable is environmental consciousness. And then we have eco label, we have attitude, we have green advertising, and then we have price. And then our dependent variable is Gen Z green consumerism. Okay, next I will explain about our methodology. Our research is a quantitative research study because we believe that this approach is quite flexible and we can get the data from the large amount of sample. And then we have used research approach is questionnaire. We're using a Google form. We focus on Gen Z. Who is Gen Z? Gen Z are born between 1997 until 2012. However, only people who born between 1994 until 2006, which means that they must at least 18 years old are included in this study. So this is our set of criteria in selecting our respondent. So and then we determine our sample size by using G Power software. And then our survey questionnaire have been conducted by the past study, Tan and al. 2019. And then in our study, we have developed five hypotheses. We have five independent variable, one dependent variable, where the hypothesis will be tested using Bayesian correlation and also multiple regression to evaluate the strength between IV and also DV. Okay, next, this is our research finding. As you can see from demographic table, the most respondent in our study is female with 57.2%. In terms of age, most of respondents are from 21 to 25 years old with 75.2%. And then most of our respondent is single with 93.2%. And then in terms of education level, most of our respondent has obtained bachelor degree qualification with 59.2%. Okay, this is our preliminary assumption analysis. As you can see that all variables meet the assumption for normality. You can see that our skewness value are within -3 until +3. And then our kurtosis value are within -10 until +10 has been elected by client 2005. And then our crunchbar alpha also have more than 0.6 according to Sakurai 1996. Much more than 0.6. You can see that from the slide. All variable including independent and mediating variable are more than 0.6. The Conchbar alpha value. So our study have made the assumption for normality and also reliability. Next, we conduct our main analysis to test our five hypotheses, which we conduct Bayesian correlation. As you can see from the slide, there is a positive relationship between all independent variable with dependent variable. For example, between environmental consciousness to green consumption is 0.808 significant. And then from eco label to green consumption is 0.811 significant. From attitude to green consumption, 0.771 significant. For green advertising is 0.798 significant. And then for price, there is a positive relationship between price and green consumption with 0.572. Therefore, all hypotheses from hypothesis 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is accepted in our study. Next, this is our final analysis in order to determine the model of the study. As you can see from the slide, in order to determine whether the variable significantly predict the dependent variable, the significant value must less than 0.05. So based on the finding, we can see that there are four variables out of five variables significantly influence dependent variable, and the highest beta value, as we can see from the slide, is eco label. Therefore, we can conclude that eco label is the most significant variable that can predict Malaysian Gen Z green consumption. So as discussion, just to conclude our finding, we have discovered that all five independent variables significantly correlate with the green consumerism based on our result Bayesian correlation. And multiple regression result has shown that eco label act as the most significant and strongest predictor on green consumer. Theoretically, Theoretically, this study has contributed a new insight to the current literature on green consumerism and environmental management because we try to expand the theory of planned behavior elements into a specific element. We have focused in developing country and also Malaysian Gen Z. As a result, we provide a several practical implication. First, we encourage the government to cooperate with the company and manufacturer to apply for eco label because currently in Malaysia applying for eco label is not compulsory. So we encourage the government provide a campaign or strategy to encourage the manufacturer to apply for eco label. For example, we have Serim eco label that communicate the product environmental benefit. Next, we encourage various party including government, producer, consumer association and NGO to play their role to improve green consumerism among young consumer through campaign and also strategy and also a program, a collaboration program. For example, the university can encourage green consumerism by encourage the student to bring their own lunch packs to the university. So the food provider does not need to provide a food container. Instead, the students are bringing their own Tupperware and a food container. So the students are encouraged to become a green consumer during their university area. And then it's recommended that primary and secondary school curriculum should introduce about green consumerism in their education systems. Okay, next we encourage that the campaign must be intensified nationwide because nowadays the campaign are scattered to the urban area, and then there is a lack of campaign being done in the rural area. So we encourage the government to intensify, especially for Department of Environment and also NGO, so that consumer will aware about their purchasing behavior and aware that their consumption might provide a negative impact to the environment if they do not support green consumerism. Finally, we encourage the government and authority to cooperate with the producer and trader to form eco-friendly certification scheme or guideline for green advertising, which is currently still lacking in Malaysia. As a conclusion, to summarize back, we discover that green consumerism in Malaysia is very important because it can help to reduce the negative impact of human actions toward environment. We believe that there are several factors that influence green consumerism, for example, price, advertising, eco-label, environmental consciousness, and attitude. And eco-label play a most significant predictor toward green consumerism. So we believe that all parties should be synergized and take action in promoting green consumerism among Malaysian Gen Z in Malaysia. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.